Hi, I'm Jim Fausone with Legal Help for Veterans, one of the attorneys here helping on veterans' disability matters all across the country. And each week we try to come to you and give you a little information that might be helpful. This week we got asked about stabilized ratings. Sounds a little wonky, but everything in VA land is a little bit technical, a little bit rule-driven. And once you get a disability rating from VA, there's kind of a couple of things that come into effect. One is you want to know, can it go up or can it go down? Depends on the nature of the disability. Some max out, say, at 30% or tinnitus at 10% and aren't going to go anywhere else. But the idea of stabilized ratings after 5 years, service connection being protected after 10 years, and you have after 20 years a continuous rating are all built into the regulations. So in that first 5 to 10 year period, the rating may go up or down based on subsequent exams. But after 5 years, the presumption sort of shifts back to the VA, and they have an uphill battle in changing that rating. After 10 years, your service connection is stabilized, is protected, and that can't change. They may try to adjust the ratings. Again, this has to be done with C&P exams, but at each one of those levels, at those time increments, there's sort of a recognition that you have some protected rights. So depending on how long you've had your disability rating, you may have some protected rights. You may need to talk to a veteran advocate or to us here at Legal Help for Veterans so that we can look at that and help you. Don't freak out if you get asked for a C&P exam, but don't take it lightly either, because you want to obviously protect the decision that it was service connected and the decision or the level at which the rating occurred. So those are the things that can happen, and one of the questions that came up this week that we thought we'd talk about. As you know, we're podcast hosts for veteransradio.net, and every week we put up a new podcast to talk to somebody about veteran issues that we think you might be interested in. There's some, I wanted to pass this one along. We had an interview with Dr. Kath Bogie. She is with the Cleveland VA, has a longer name, but we'll just call it that. Also at Case Western Reserve. She's doing some really interesting work on spinal cord injuries, and talk to us about how 3D printing is changing some of the research that's being done by VA to help veterans, and some of the medical devices that can be created today, one-offs, if you will, that can be created just for you, that historically couldn't have been one-off, couldn't have been created just for you, and therefore there was no commercial marketplace for it. So an interesting discussion. She also talks about smart bandages, which is something that she's worked on. It's a device to go on and help in wound healing, and a lot of veterans have open wounds from ulcer wounds sort of things. Real interesting story on how smart bandages may help in wound care for veterans. Finally, we are the custodians of the homeofheroes.com site, talking about Medal of Honor recipients. And we wanted to talk to you today about a Medal of Honor recipient by the name of Red Erwin. Red was an Air Force airman in World War II, and it's another one of those incredible stories where a white phosphorus incendiary device goes off prematurely in the hold of the airplane, and Red grabs it and gets it out of the plane so that he and his guys don't all go up in flames. Red, unfortunately, is severely injured. He has has to have something like 43 operations because of the burns and the injuries he suffered. But it's really a story of perseverance and redemption, because Red doesn't stay down in the dumps. Red is able to overcome these injuries and have a full life, and works for the VA during his productive career, and is really somebody who's inspiring his story. We have a link to that below as well. So we hope you'll look at those things and come on back next week to hear 4 more minutes with Legal Help for Veterans. Thank you.